Hey, what's up everybody? I'm so glad that you're joining us again for Collision at Home. Or maybe you're not at home, maybe you're like one of our small groups and you're in the parking lot of the church right now. That is awesome. I'm giving you guys, boom, a high five. So again, we're so glad that you're here. We are gonna do a giveaway like we have the last couple of weeks, but there are some rules. What you need to do is you've gotta be a part of this and you gotta be a part of the chat on the YouTube premiere. And then what we want you to do is be a part of the Zoom group. So that's going to be right after this. So make sure you're part of both of those. Let us know that you're there. If we ask questions, just engage and be a part of it. Let's have some fun with it, all right? Because we can't see each other and be together. So let's still connect in that way. So again, you guys hear us say this every week. If you haven't gotten the app, get the app. Just go in there and just check out some of the stuff. We have the Devos and different things. We have our Collision t-shirts that you can buy, just different stuff in there. So take a minute and just check that out. And let's see here. One of the last things, this is a biggie. Pretty soon, there's gonna be more info about when we're gonna get to hang out again, like in real life. It's happening very, very soon. I don't have all the details yet, but just get ready. All right, without any further ado, we have a guest with us tonight. So you guys, I guess at your home or wherever you are, give it up as we jump into week 5 of The Good Life.
Well, hey guys, welcome back to the final week of The Good Life. And throughout this series, we've been going through, now up to this point, 4 different life hacks. And today we'll be talking about the 5th and final life hack of this series. And before I get going, I have 2 quick questions to ask you. What is the meanest thing you've ever said to someone? And what is the nicest thing you've ever said to someone? Believe it or not, you don't need me, you don't need Justin, you don't need any of your small group leaders to tell you this, but every word you say has power. Literally this past week, TikTok star Charli D'Amelio was on Twitter actually, and she was getting absolutely very unnecessary hate coming her way. People were saying they could tell she was gaining weight, and those words really got to her. She quit posting on TikTok for about 3 days, and anybody that knows her, she's like very in shape person. So she's not even we're close to out of shape, and those words really hit her. Obviously, I said she didn't post for 3 days. So regardless of what you think, whether you're typing the words out or you're saying them in person, every word you say has the potential to lift someone up or put someone down. And so speaking of our words having power, fun fact for y'all, the average person typically says about 7,000 to 20,000 words a day. Right now we might not be saying as many words as we usually do because, we're quarantined in our house and the only people we got to talk to are our siblings and our parents, but you might be typing as many. And right now it might be easier to say more hurtful things over the internet than it would be to say it to their face. And sometimes it's easier to recognize the impact of others' words on us than it is for us to recognize our impact of our words on other people. Just a quick little tidbit to think about. Just think about if you could go back at the end of the day and listen to every word you said. That would give us almost like a totally different perspective of what we have said, and we can recognize our impact on others. Ultimately we could summarize this message as the think before you speak message. It may be hard in the moment to not say something, but if you just sit there and pause a moment and think about the situation, you can ultimately change the whole outcome of the situation if you just pause and take a moment. Maybe you talk about certain people differently than the way they talk to you. This is where like gossiping can come into play. Whether you're talking behind the person's back or you're nice to them in person, but as soon as they walk out the door, you're a totally different person against them. Or maybe, I know I've experienced this in person. When you're in school, the teacher walks out of the class, and as soon as the teacher walks out of class, you have this one kid and they just go after one another. And it's easier to make fun of that student when the teacher walks out the door because there's no authority figure and you can't be sent to the principal's office. So, this is a little tidbit. You want to treat people the way you want to be treated. So if you walk outside and your best friend starts gossiping about you to someone else, how would you feel? So maybe you've mastered the art of saying what you don't mean or meaning what you don't say. So about a month to 2 months ago, I was at work with one of my coworkers. She was helping me on the front line, making a sandwich with me. And I was talking to a customer, and I said something about, like, she's been here for a year, blah, 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 blah. And another one of my employees or coworkers interpreted it was I was saying she's been here for a year, she has no clue what she's doing. But what I was actually trying to say was, she's been here for a year, she's more than capable of knowing what she's doing. But in that situation, I should have not have talked to the customer like that in general, because I don't want what I was saying to interpret it as something else. And also in other situations, our tone, our sarcasticness, and other things can change the meaning of what we're trying to say. So if you're trying to be serious, but you say it with a sarcastic tone, the person you're talking to is going to take it in a completely different way. Or your trouble starts when you are in an argument. So instantly, we mostly go to 2 different defense mechanisms when we're in an argument. Number 1 is we completely shut down, we avoid the situation. And number 2 is we want to fight, we want to hit you back, eye for an eye. And this is when we typically start to curse. We start saying things maybe we don't mean in the moment. And during these times, we often don't think what we're about to say, and we don't always consider the impact our words have on the other person. So I have one quick question for you. How do we fix it? So as we have this whole series, we're going to jump into the book of Proverbs, where King Solomon wrote the whole thing. And, might have been the wisest man to ever live. Just a quick little tidbit. But we're going to jump into Proverbs 15:1. A gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. And we're going to look into the back half of the verse real quick. A harsh word stirs up anger. So when we're in, an argument with our parents, friends, siblings, we can say one little thing like, hey, you're stupid, or shut up. That word I would consider a harsh word that's going to stir up anger in your friend or parent or sibling. But if we jump to the very beginning of the verse, a gentle answer turns away wrath, we're going to look at the word wrath for a minute. It means extreme anger. And if we use our words gently, maybe spread some positive vibes. Right now I think we all could use some positive vibes. We're quarantined at home. You're going to turn away anger real quick. So maybe you're thinking about the person who did you wrong. It's easy to get someone back for what they did to you, the eye for the eye thing. But if you take a moment and you pause, you have power in that situation. Harsh words feel like they might gain you power in the moment, but if you pause, that actually gives you power in the situation. It helps take control of the situation and the problem, and then you become the one in control and it influences the conversation. A gentle response keeps the relationship intact, and you could potentially work on fixing the relationship rather than damaging the relationship. Like Solomon said, if you want the good life, choose gentle words. The best way to have the best relationships in life is if you choose what you're going to say carefully, and choosing your words gently can lead to the best relationships possible regardless of where you are in life. Now, how on earth are we supposed to be gentle with our words in the heat of battle? Well, number 1, hit pause. Take a breath and evaluate the situation. The best time to respond is not right away, because harsh words bring anger. And number 2, say I think and I feel. Telling the person what you think and how you feel, just be honest with them in the moment, because then you can possibly work on a fix for the relationship. Number 3, name what's bothering you. Be open with them, tell them your emotion. And if you need help with this part, feel free to contact any of your small group leaders who can help you with this last step. And number 4, choose to end the cycle and be the person who stops the back and forth and changes the way conflict looks in your relationship. Remember, if you want to choose the good life, choose to be the one who decides to bring the temperature in the situation down by choosing your words more gently. I know these steps aren't easy to do, but just imagine what our relationships would look like if we worked towards a solution rather than creating more conflict. These situations are never going to disappear in life. You're always going to have them. But by choosing your words more gently, you can have better relationships and be more open with one another. And that's it.